In this HelpNet security video, I'll be discussing the overlap and gap between security and privacy and what it will take to bridge it. Hi, my name is Bill Tolson, and I'm the Vice President of Global Compliance and eDiscovery at Archive360. So how are data security and data privacy related? Well, a basic truth is effective data security does not rely on data privacy to be successful, but you can't achieve effective data privacy without data security. With the continuing rise in cyber threats, including ransomware and extortionware attacks, as well as insider threats, corporations are now facing heightened regulatory and legal risk. In fact, ransomware and extortionware attacks grew by more than 40% during the pandemic, and the average cost of a data breach in 2021 reached $4.24 million worldwide, but over $8 million in the US. In most cases, the attackers are after sensitive data such as personally identifiable information, or PII, to sell for monetary gain through the use of ransoms. The main issue for organizations that collect PII, which is almost everyone, is the rise of strict and aggressive data privacy laws across the globe. Approximately 145 countries have passed data privacy laws, and the US is finally playing catch-up with the passage of several state privacy laws and a privacy bill currently on the floor in the House of Representatives. These laws threaten huge fines, penalties, and litigation from the various governments, as well as individual data subjects, if PII from current customers, potential clients, or even employees are breached, accessed, viewed, or stolen. And to make matters worse, these data privacy laws are global in nature, meaning the law follows the data subject's PII and is not limited to enforcement within specific geographic borders. Because of these huge fines, many of the new versions of extortionware steal sensitive data and then threaten to release it on the internet, not good in its own right, but they go further and threaten to alert data protection authorities in the various countries that your company's PII has been breached and released. This ensures your company is fined per the new data privacy laws if you don't pay the ransom, which could be up to 40 million euros in the EU. Because of this increased risk, organizations are looking at their overall security capabilities much more closely. Companies need to look beyond their perimeter and network security to also include data security at the individual file or even field level. All of the current data privacy laws include data security requirements to protect PII from being accessed and stolen. However, data security requirements in these laws are especially general or non-specific in nature and are therefore unhelpful in guiding organizations to the needed security measures. For example, all of the US state privacy laws use the same phrase in describing data security requirements, namely, companies must use reasonable security practices, an especially non-prescriptive requirement to describe data security requirements in the law. The use of this very general data security description has already caused issues in litigation. As an example, a large East Coast convenience store operator was breached in 2019, exposing tens of millions of client PII records. 6 states sued the operator for not providing reasonable security. This year, the convenience store settled with the 6 states while also agreeing to a list of very specific data security processes and technologies, including the requirement that all sensitive data be encrypted. This settlement will no doubt act as a precedent for legal definition of reasonable data security for data privacy laws in the future. Many in the legal industry argue against prescriptive data security requirements, wanting to be careful against locking companies into specific vendor technologies. However, I believe that these new and emerging data privacy laws must include more prescriptive data security requirements to be effective and offer the needed guidance to organizations. These more strict requirements can be developed by specifying generally accepted common security practices and technologies that would avoid vendor lock-in. These could include things like the adoption of application-level encryption, encryption of all sensitive data while in transit and at rest. When storing encrypted data in the cloud, the encryption key should never be stored in the same cloud. In fact, on-prem encryption key storage would be the best practice. The use of role-based access controls to control sensitive data accessibility. The use of annual data privacy impact assessments and data security assessments. Ongoing audit reporting of all systems handling sensitive data. Never allowing PII to be downloaded from its original application without written approval and ongoing data tracking. And finally, never allowing PII to be transferred to a portable device. Now, these are just basic suggestions for legislators to consider. All of these data security processes and technologies could be required without causing vendor lock-in. Data privacy laws will be the biggest driver of increased data security in the future. In fact, I believe the new data privacy laws will cause an inflection point in both data management as well as data security because of the potential of huge fines and penalties, not to mention the terrible PR for the companies. As data privacy laws become even more prevalent and are more aggressively enforced by governments, data security will become the highest priority for all organizations going forward.